You are the most recognizable figure of the plague, and almost everything you do is useless. That long, bird-like beak, the dark robe, the cane held out ahead of you. It is one of the most haunting images humanity will ever produce. And behind the terrifying costume is a frightened person, doing their best. With medicine that does not work, against an enemy no one understands. You walk into homes that others flee. You face the dying that everyone else abandons. You are brave, or desperate, or both. And the tragedy of your life is that all your courage cannot save them, because your entire understanding of the disease is wrong. Let me show you your day. When plague sweeps a city, the ordinary system of medicine collapses. The sick are too many. Many physicians flee to save themselves, or simply refuse to go near the infected. So the city takes a drastic step. It hires special doctors, often on a contract, specifically to treat plague victims. That is you. You are, in a sense, a public servant of catastrophe, employed by the town to do the job no one else will touch. Sometimes you are a skilled physician. Often, honestly, you are a lesser one. A young doctor without a better position. Or someone drawn by the pay, because the work is so dangerous that the city must offer good money to fill the role. Whatever your skill, you have accepted a contract to walk, daily, into the heart of the deadliest thing your world knows. That takes a particular kind of nerve, and a particular kind of situation to drive a person to it. Before you face the sick, you put on the costume that will echo through history, and every piece of it has a purpose, based on the medical beliefs of your age. A long, heavy coat, sometimes waxed, covering you head to toe, gloves, a wide-brimmed hat, and the mask with its long, curved beak. You cover every inch of skin, leaving nothing exposed. Understand why you dress this way, because it reveals what you believe is happening. You think the plague spreads through bad air, a foul, poisonous mist that carries the disease and enters the body through the breath and through the pores. So you seal yourself against the air, and the beak, that famous, eerie beak, is stuffed with strong-smelling herbs, flowers, and spices. The idea is that this sweet, powerful scent will filter out, or overpower, the poisonous air before it can reach you. You are, in your mind, wearing a filter against a toxic fog. You are wrong about the cause. But given what you believe, the costume is a rational attempt to survive. You carry a long cane, or staff, and it is not for walking. It is a tool of distance. With it, you can examine a patient without touching them, lift a garment, point, direct, all while keeping your gloved hands and your covered body as far from the infected person as possible. It has another use too. Sometimes you must use it to keep the sick, or their frightened families, at a distance from you, to hold back the desperate, to maintain the barrier between yourself and the contagion you believe hangs around every patient. It is a grim tool for a grim job, a way to do your work while touching as little as possible. Everything about your equipment, the sealed coat, the filtering beak, the distancing cane, is built around one goal: to move through a poisoned world without letting the poison reach you. Whether it actually protects you is another question entirely, and the answer is not comforting. Now you make your rounds, through streets emptied by fear, past doors marked to show the sickness within, into homes where the healthy have fled, and only the dying remain. You go where the panic sends everyone else running the other way. Inside, you find people in agony, families shattered, sometimes bodies no one has come to collect. You examine the sick as best you can, from behind your mask and your cane. You look for the signs everyone dreads, the swellings, the fever, the darkening marks. You confirm what everyone already fears, and then you try to treat it. This is the heart of your day, and the heart of your tragedy, because the treatments you have been trained to use range from useless to actively harmful, and you have no way of knowing it. You are doing your sincere best, with the accumulated medical wisdom of your world, and that wisdom, against this enemy, is close to worthless. Consider what your best medicine actually consists of. You may bleed the patient, drawing out blood, in the belief that illness comes from an imbalance in the body's fluids, and that removing some will restore balance. In truth, you are weakening an already dying person, taking strength from someone who needs every bit of it. But you believe you are helping, because this is what medicine has taught for centuries. You might lance the swellings, you might apply strange poultices, dried toads, herbal pastes, various concoctions passed down as remedies. You might burn aromatic substances to cleanse the bad air of the room. You might prescribe purges to drive the sickness out of the body. None of it works. Some of it makes things worse, but you do not know that, and you cannot know that, because the true nature of the disease is centuries beyond your reach. You are a sincere professional, armed with a medical science that is simply not ready for this fight, and your patients pay the price for a knowledge that does not yet exist. You have walked into a dozen houses everyone else fled, and you are still standing. Subscribe, and we will both find out together whether the mask holds. Much of your work, you slowly realize, is not really healing at all. It is bookkeeping for death. You count the sick and the dead, recording numbers for the city so it can track the outbreak. You witness the final wishes of the dying, their wills, their last requests, standing as an official presence at the end of countless lives. In a strange way, this may be the most valuable thing you do, not curing because you cannot cure, but being present. When everyone else has fled in terror, you are there. You record that a person lived and died. You witness their last words. You bring a small, grim order to the chaos of mass death. You cannot save their lives, but you can ensure they do not die completely alone and unrecorded, erased without a witness. It is cold comfort, and in a plague, cold comfort is sometimes the only comfort anyone can offer. Every day you do this work, you gamble your own life, and you know it. Despite the sealed coat and the filtered beak, plague doctors die. They catch the very disease they treat, again and again. Because their protection, however clever it seems, does not actually stop the true means of infection. You walk into death daily and hope the costume holds, without any real way to know if it does. So you live with a constant, gnawing fear. Every ache could be the beginning. Every warm flush of your skin could be the fever, starting. You have seen exactly what awaits you if you are infected, in vivid detail, in every home you enter. Few people in history have known their likely fate as precisely as you do, and gone back to work anyway, day after day. Whatever drove you to this job, courage or need or both, it is tested every single morning, when you put the mask back on and walk out into the dying city. There is a bitter irony in your appearance. The costume meant to protect you also makes you a figure of terror. To the people of the city, your silhouette coming down the street means death has arrived at someone's door. Children flee from you. People make signs against evil. You become, in the popular imagination, not a healer, but an omen, a walking symbol of the plague itself. So you are isolated twice over, once by the danger of your work, which keeps sensible people away from you, and again by the dread your appearance inspires, which turns you into a monster in the eyes of the very people you are trying to help. You set out to be a doctor and became a specter. The mask that was supposed to save your life made you into the face of everyone's nightmare. It is a lonely thing to be feared by the people you are risking your life to serve. At the end of the day, you return to your lodging, and you remove the costume, piece by piece. The mask comes off, and the strong scent of the herbs lingers in your nostrils, mixed with the smells of the sick rooms you cannot fully escape. You are exhausted in a way that goes deeper than the body. Because you have spent the day surrounded by suffering, you could not stop. Alone in your room, you are just a person again. Not the terrifying beaked figure, not the omen of death, just a frightened, tired human being who walked into the worst place in the city today and will do it again tomorrow. Perhaps you pray, perhaps you simply sit in the quiet, grateful to be, for now, still healthy. And perhaps you wonder, in the honest dark, whether anything you did today made the slightest difference. It is a hard question, and you may already suspect the answer. But do not judge yourself too harshly, because in your confused, wrong-headed efforts, you stumbled onto something real, without understanding why. Your instinct to keep away from the sick, to avoid the crowds, to seal yourself off and maintain distance, was pointed in the right direction, even if your reasons were mistaken. Keeping apart from the infected genuinely does reduce the spread of disease. The measures your era grasped toward, isolating the sick, quarantining the arrivals, keeping distance, these were the seeds of something that actually works, discovered by trial and terror, long before anyone understood the true cause. You were fumbling in the dark, but not every fumble was wrong. Your world was slowly, painfully learning that separation saves lives, and doctors like you were part of that hard education, even as you got almost everything else wrong. Centuries from now, Your image will be everywhere. The beaked mask will become one of the most recognizable symbols in the world, a shorthand for plague, for death, for the terrifying strangeness of the past. People will wear it as a costume, and almost none of them will think about the actual person inside it, or how little that person could do, or how much they risked to do even that. Because that is the truth the famous image hides. You were not a mystic or a monster. You were a person doing an impossible job with hopelessly inadequate tools, in the middle of a catastrophe no one understood, and dying, often, for the effort. Your medicine was wrong, your bravery was real. Both things belong in the story, and the mask remembers only the fear, not the frightened human who wore it. You walked toward the dying, when everyone else ran. You could not save them, and you knew it, and you went anyway. History gave you a famous, frightening face. It should have given you something you deserved far more. Recognition that behind that beak was a person braver than the mask ever let anyone see. That is where we leave you. If you survived the video, you are already doing better than the person you just played. So do the small thing. Like it, subscribe, and I will drop you into another life next time. Same voice, same stick figures, someone else's very bad day.